Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela. So, yesterday, and I might have to pause it because my dog's out here. She's looking at me like it's hot out here. I don't want to be out here. But she also goes and lays down, so. Um, so yesterday I did a Speaking with Spirit video. And today I had some revelations, if you will, come up about yesterday's reading. And so I thought I'd throw that in there. That's only going to be a couple minutes long. But then I had something else come up today that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So I'm dubbing this video just kind of a random chat. So yesterday I was doing a reading, Speaking with Spirit video about the spirit that lives in my closet. His name is Adam. I'm guessing he died around 1933, 1934. He was probably late 20s, I'd say 28 to 32. But he was one of those guys that he was very charismatic, very enigmatic person. He did have a sorted. He was brought up as a orphan that was adopted out by this farmer guy that abused him. And these are all things I've seen clairvoyantly that back up what I'm telling you, or I literally dreamed about, because I've been dreaming about him pretty much since I knew there was a person in my house before I started my spiritual journey. But once I started my spiritual journey and became open on purpose, if that makes sense, because I was always open. Because I would have things or feelings or see things that weren't there, and I just chalked it up to my imagination or I'm going crazy. But then I've always deemed my spiritual journey as one where a rock was tossed in the river like skipping rocks. And the ripples got bigger and bigger and bigger until the point it got to so big that I could no longer deny something was happening spiritually. And once I accepted that and realized you're not crazy, things are really happening. It was like I blew the door wide open and all these things started happening, and I was getting constant clairvoyant, almost like a silent video of this person, from his childhood to his mother giving birth to him and dying in childbirth, to her getting raped repeatedly and brutalized significantly prior to her becoming pregnant, or when she became pregnant with him. Just a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm just like, it's crazy. I've done many spreads on him before, and I always seem to come up against the same thing. Well, yesterday was kind of a revelation and I've thought about it all day today because it kind of stuck with me. Because it kind of went into more in depth about the girl he was with. She accidentally smothered in the bed as they were making love, having sex, whatever you want to call it. He was so enthralled in what he was doing that he didn't realize she was smothering in the bed, and she died. She was a daughter of someone very prominent in the community. I keep wanting to say mayor. I don't know if there was such a thing back in the 30s or late 20s, whatever. But I got more information to me than I've gotten before on her and her family and her father. And I felt like him and her were engaged. And what I didn't say yesterday is when I pulled this card, let me see if I can pull it. It's right on top. When I pulled the Empress card yesterday, there was another card in there talking about pregnancy on a different deck. And I just found it interesting because the Empress is usually depicted as a pregnant female. So I found that kind of doubly fascinating. Once I got off the video with you guys, I just started looking, and it just sent me down a rabbit hole. And I'm just like, what if her father found out that she was pregnant? Yes, he didn't have anything to do with her dying, because it was a complete accident. I saw it happen. But he wanted rid of this guy no matter what. He didn't care if he was in love with his daughter. He didn't care if they were going to have a baby together. He didn't care that they were engaged. He wanted this guy gone. So when she accidentally died, he saw this as his opportunity to get rid of this guy completely and had him hanged. And that's how he died. And I didn't realize until yesterday's video that maybe there was more to the story than him just having this affair with her. Maybe they were really in love. Maybe he finally found somebody to match his dark desires. Because she did seem to, from what I've seen in my clairvoyant visions, she did seem to have this darker side also, and that matched his. And I just found that very fascinating. And then I got this card. And I literally kept saying in the video, I keep hearing that song, Running Away With Me. And I tried to find it all day today, and I found it. It is a real song from The Temptations. And I'm going to pull it back up for you and read you the lyrics to this song. I got chills. I was like, what's happening right now? The song is called Just My Imagination by The Temptations. I heard it as kind of a rock version in my head, and I know there's a remake of that somewhere where it's kind of a rock style. I can't find it, but I know there's one out there. But it's the same song. And then Boyz II Men did a cover of it years later. But the song is old. I mean, let me see here. $1971 it came out. So, and I had somebody at work go, well, why would he be sending you that song? He was dead long before that song. Well, I mean, he's hung around. And I'm finding more and more and more so, the more I am open to it, the more music, it has its own divination purposes. And I didn't know that was a thing. I think people call it shufflemancy, where you can have your own playlist of different songs, and if you ask a question, whatever song that pops up, that could be the song that's meant to answer that question. And I found that very fascinating, because that happens to me quite a bit, where I'm like asking myself something stupid, or what should I do about this, or like, for example, when I had my falling out with my best friend, I literally woke up already singing, like had been singing it in my sleep. What's that song? Would I Lie to You? Over and over and over like an earworm. I could not get rid of this song. And then when I really sat back and read the lyrics, it was talking about our relationship, and I'm like, that's crazy. So that's when I kind of realized divination can come from anywhere. Music, especially. Music is universal. Music goes beyond even life and death, I think. And this song popped up when I was pulled this card, and I kept hearing Running Away With Me, and I said it was niggling in the back of my brain. Couldn't figure out what was going on. And then I found the song today. It's called Just My Imagination by The Temptations. It says, each day through my window, I watch her as she passes by. And one of the cards I had pulled in the other deck said passerby. And I was like, what is happening? I say to myself, you're such a lucky guy. To have a girl like her is truly a dream come true. Out of all the fellows in the world, she belongs to me. And I was like, I'm getting chills again. Because it reiterated to me, the cards I was pulling, that there was more to this relationship than just sex. And I was like, wow. And then, of course, it goes into the chorus, but it was just my imagination running away with me. It was just my imagination running away with me. And I'm like, what's happening? And then it says, soon we'll be married and raise a family. A cozy little home out in the country with 2 children, maybe 3. And the fact that, I'm getting goosebumps again, the fact that pregnancy popped up, and then this Empress card popped up with it. To me, confirms with this song, confirms that she was in fact pregnant. And we'll have 2 children, maybe 3. I tell you, I can visualize it all. This couldn't be a dream. Far too real it all seems. And then again, it goes into the chorus, but it was just my imagination, once again, running away with me. And then there's one that says, every night on my knees I pray, dear Lord, hear my plea. Don't ever let another take her love from me, or I would surely die. And what? This was his song that he was, crazy. And then it says, her love is heavenly. When her arms enfold me, I hear a tender rhapsody. And the harp came up yesterday in that reading. And I'm like, rhapsody, music, it all fits. And then it says, but in reality, she doesn't even know me. And I'm like, wow. Like, because he was, I pulled, let me see what card I pulled in this. And I pulled this card many times. For Struggle Avenue is what I pulled. And then Anxiously Stressed Out Way. I think he was struggling with this. He showed her the darker parts of himself, but he was terrified at any moment she was going to leave, because she realized what kind of person he was. And I just found that interesting that it was like, what is happening? And then it says, I've never met her, but I can't forget her. Just my imagination running away with me. And I'm like, wow, that whole song was, the cards I was pulling was crazy. But I mean, they did know each other, and they were, I think, engaged. But I feel like that part where it says, but in reality, she doesn't even know me. It's more metaphorically where he, in his mind, she never really knew who he was, because he kept the darkest parts of himself to himself. And I found that quite interesting, that he did have this darker side. But I believe she, from this stuff I've seen clairvoyantly, she accepted all of him. And he just, I don't think, could accept himself. Which is very, very telling. Very telling. It's crazy. And once I started reading that, I was like, this is the exact song that was going through my head. This is why, because these were the exact cards I was pulling, was everything that was in that song. It was crazy. Crazy. So, yeah. On to the reason, number 2, why I got you guys on here today. Why I'm doing a video. I can't stop using this deck. And I decided I'm using it this week. I decided to pair it with my Many Roots and Wings Oracle deck, which it came out great. I will pull a card from each. I always do an Oracle deck and a Tarot deck, and I will pull a card from each for each. Hold on. I will pull a card from each for just see how the rest of my day is going. I don't pull it in the morning anymore, just because I don't have the time. And I got to the point where I was pulling the same card every day, and I'm like, didn't matter what deck it was. I'm like, okay. So I just do a how's the rest of my day looking at lunchtime at work. And then I got into the habit of, just the last couple months, of doing just a random pull. Universe. What is the universe? Advice from the universe, advice from my higher self, and advice from my guides. And I pulled today, who's the backs, from the universe, the 3 of Wands and Seasons, which was the Many Roots and Wings. And I'm like, that's beautiful. The 3 of Wands to me is about traveling. And I don't know why, because I don't have 2 nickels to rub together right now. But every video I've seen the other people on YouTube that do tarot readings for the horoscopes, all of them say I'm traveling soon, or have been, or will be very shortly traveling. And I'm like, I wish. But then I got that with this universe card here about traveling. To me, it's traveling. It's two birds. One is sitting still and one's in flight. And the Three of Wands to me is usually about going somewhere. Where are you going? So I found that quite interesting. And the Seasons card just seems like it's saying time is ticking by. Why aren't you actively doing something? I'm this guy sitting here just watching everything go by, watching the seasons change. And the universe is like, but why? Why are you doing this? And to me, that's the $1 million question. Why? Why am I doing this? I say every day, I'm going to get up today, I'm going to go to work, and then I'm going to come home, and I'm going to be productive. I'm going to write in my story and do some writing and do this and I don't do any of it. I barely have time to do these videos. So I don't know why. So it just kind of bothered me, but at the same time, this is beautiful together. Beautiful. And I wanted to share that. With the three of these, with the universe, the higher self, and the guides, these three cards together are just gorgeous. This whole spread was beautiful, but haunting at the same time. I don't know why. But if you guys have any further advice on it, let me know. So for the higher self, I pulled the Hermit, which is exactly why he's saying why. Why are you in Hermit mode? And I pulled the Hermit for my week ahead spread also. So interesting. And then I got Journey. So it's kind of reversal of what this one is saying. This one's asking, it's literally the universe is saying the seasons are passing. What are you waiting for? And this is like, you're already on the journey. You just don't realize you're on the journey. But you're in hermit mode so long that you're just stagnant now. And that's what I feel like. Interesting. And it's almost like because the spider is clearly the hermit, but he's got so many webs, it's so cluttered, or he's buried himself under all these webs. And I found that quite interesting that, yeah, he's just buried in there. And I found that interesting that goes with that journey card. Because it's like you're already on this journey, you're just slow at it, or stagnating at it. And then for the higher self, the advice from my guides. I got the Three of Pentacles and the Mother card, which I thought those were beautiful together also. And this Three of Pentacles, I actually read about it. I didn't read about it in the book, but I did notice because when I did my walkthrough, I realized each one of these cards has whatever animal is prominent in it. It talks about that animal. And this one actually does talk about the wolf and the deer. So I found that interesting. And then we got the Mother. Three of Pentacles to me is working as a team, collaborating. They're all, and it's weird because there's three wolves and then the deer. Did you see that squirrel? Oh my God. I just looked up and there he was. And then he was gone. Now he's going up the tree. Oh my God, that freaked me out. It's like he's watching. And then there was a bunny just sitting not even 10 feet from me a while ago, just staring at me, and I'm like, I'm sorry. But the three, they're all tracking the deer. They're working as a team to get their dinner. And I'm like, that's... And then we got the Mother who's bringing the dinner, it looks like, to the eggs, or going to protect them. Either way, the number 3 in this, to me, is very prominent. Let's look this up. Find out what's the number 3 signify. And to me, it's always Father, Son, Holy Ghost for religion, or there's a trifecta there of 3. Interesting. And that's my guides. Messages from my guides. Let's see. What does the number 3 mean spiritually? In the eyes, the number 3 was considered as the perfect number, the number of harmony, wisdom, and understanding. It was also the number of time, past, present, future, birth, life, death, beginning, middle, and end. It was the number of the divine. So that's quite interesting. That's what I'm saying is that 3, and that. Quite interesting. And I like that it's the, it says harmony, wisdom, and understanding. And that's messages from my guide. So maybe there will be a moment, maybe once I climb out of this hermit mode and realize that I'm already on this journey, I can start moving again, and really be in harmony with my higher self. This one's my heart. Oh no, this one's my guides. Be in harmony with my higher self, my guides, the universe, all of it. So that's quite interesting. But I want to show you guys these 3 together. These are the oracle cards together. They're just so beautiful. I don't know what it is, but they just came out so beautiful today, and I just want to show you guys how pretty they are. And then these come out. I don't know why, but they just look gorgeous together. All 3 of these, just gorgeous. And like I said, I can't put this deck down. It's like as soon as I got it, I was getting hits on it, and I love decks like that. If there's an immediate connection there, it'll climb very quickly to top 10 of my list. And this one is trying its darndest to get there. But that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions or comments or anything on the first thing I said or this, let me know in the comments below. I'm all ears I'm always here to learn and grow. So if you guys have any comments, questions, whatever, let me know. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And you guys have a good night. Bye.